Hello, I'm away with the fairies. So good evening, everybody, and welcome. So thank you very much indeed for coming back tonight. And I've actually got a guest with me tonight that's going to help with the chat. So thank you very much to the guest. We'll come on to the guest in a minute. So we're going to do a little bit more to the Blue Routemaster. Yeah, the Agora model special. The Routemaster special. It's the Southend Transport Routemaster in blue and white. So we're going to be doing a bit more to that this evening. Hopefully we'll get a little bit further down the line, maybe 4 or 5 issues perhaps. Something like a couple of hours, something like that. An hour and a half, couple of hours, something like that. Right, okay, so without further ado then, I'm going to introduce my guest. Where's he gone? He's just gone. Come back, all is forgiven. I think something must have happened to his computer. Anyway, while he comes back, then I'll start the chat. Why not? Okay, so 7:54 was Jason's channel. So Jay's channel. So good evening, all. I hope everyone is okay and well. Good evening, Jay. Thanks for joining. We've got Warren James, and Warren James says, hi, all. We've got Max Modz, and Max Modz says, good evening, everybody, again. And I'm just going to stop there, and I'm going to mark that one off there, and I'm going to come back to my guest. My guest this evening is Horlix.
Hello. You all right?
Hello. Sorry it's been short notice, but...
No, it's fine. Yeah, I had a connection problem as well, so I got in and then it was like kept kicking me out. I was like, I'm here. Yeah, a bit snivelly, but I'm all right.
Oh, lovely, thank you. Well, we just started the chat, but I've just noticed that your bus isn't on yet.
No, it's not.
Do you want to put your bus on?
Yeah, let's get the app up.
So anybody looking at the top right-hand side of the screen, you'll see that Horlix's bus is up there on a shelf. Okay, and in a minute you'll see that the lights will all pop on, and they'll all pop on via a Bluetooth app that Horlix has got on his phone that you can actually do as well. But he's also got the Partwork Upgrades power mod onto his bus too. So it's quite possible that you could do exactly the same. So if you want to look onto Horlix's channel and look how he did that, because he's got some special videos up there, how he did the Routemaster on Horlix's channel. So, and yeah, he'll tell you all about it in his videos. There we go. Look, guys, it's all lit up now. So, how good is that, eh? Fantastic. Yeah. So, I started the comments at Max Modz, and I'll just pop him on screen. So, if you want to carry on from there.
Yeah. Okay. So, we have Marie in. Evening again. So,
hi, ma'am.
Good evening. Yorkshire Crafter, good evening again, everyone.
Hi, Julie.
And Yorkshire saying evening at Jay. Daft DMC, evening, everyone again.
Hi, Daft DMC.
Hello, Daft. We have myself, evening all again.
Hi, Horlix. He's there, look.
Rascal's Hobbies, hello again, everyone.
Hi, Eric.
All right, and Geordie Dave saying evening, everyone.
Hi, Geordie Dave.
And that's all I've got. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we're up to date on that. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, right. So let me carry on as where I finished off then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on a little bit more than what we did last night. We did some more of the driver's cabin, didn't we? We put the electrics on and steering wheel and the dashboard and things like that. And then we came to the realization that we need to do the driver's seat. So we're going to do that. They're going to do the driver's seat. Then we're going to work our way forward a little bit in the issues. And I'm going to show you what I've done to forward the issues a little bit, because I have actually forwarded the issues quite a bit. So we'll have a look at that when I've done this seat, etc. So, okay, let me change my camera, and then we'll get into it. So come on, webcam, there we go. So we've got, yes, we've got the lovely Patchwork Upgrades cushion on, because obviously we've been able to move the big bus right over there. The blue bus is to that side of me, and the seats and everything and the dashboard is to the right hand side, sorry, the left hand side of me, and the computer's over the left hand side as well. So like, I can't see the computer at the minute. So, and I think the only thing that we need is a screwdriver. We want the instructions, and tonight I'm using the old Hachette instructions. So these came with the original builds, and of course we've got several copies of these because we've got several of the original builds of Routemasters. So it's just easier for me to get on with these, but in actual fact these are numbered correctly at the minute with what you'll be doing with the Agora, the red Agora bus. And of course everything I'm going to be doing on this bus is going to be totally different to the red Agora bus. It's going to be obviously painted different. It's going to be blue and white, for instance. It's not going to be red, and it's not going to be London Transport. It's going to be actually Southend Transport, the blue and white buses that the Southend Transport had well way back in the late 80s and very early 90s. So, and it's going to be a one-off as well, a one-off special. So okay, and I'm actually noted for doing one-off specials. I've done 2 of them already. I'm on with another one, and which is going to be an open top one, which is going to be another one-off special. But I'm also going to be doing a diorama with a red one that's going to be a one-off special as well. So yeah, so okay, right, let me change my camera. And I don't think there's anything else in the chat, is there, at the minute?
A couple of bits.
Oh, there is. Yeah, bring that up.
We've got Modz saying, "Hey, Eric." Not the model builders. Hello again. Hello.
Hi, model builders.
Rascals Hobby says, "Hey, Mark. And do they run those buses anymore in real life?"
Well, actually, they didn't. But there has been very, very recently, in the last 2 weeks, there has been 2 buses restored to go back on the streets of London for the heritage route. Okay, and one of them, okay, is registration number WLT 871. Now, there's a little story about WLT 871, and you'll have to bear with me with that. The little story goes is that back in 1988, in our fair near city of Hull, that's Kingston upon Hull, on the in the East Yorkshire in England. So Kingston upon Hull in 1988, in their wisdom, actually brought back conductors to 1 or 2 routes in the city centre, and the route that they brought back was number 56 to the Asda out at Bilton. And my dad, being a bus enthusiast, he rang me up one day and he says, "Hey," he says, "have you heard?" He said, "They're bringing Routemasters back to Hull." And he said, "I'm going to go through to Hull." He said, "I'm going to go ride on one." He said, "Do you want to come with me?" So I said, "Yeah." So back in 1988, I forget what month it was, but me and him went through to Hull, which is about 25 miles away from here, and we went and rode on Routemasters all day long. And the main one that we rode on was incredibly WLT 871. Okay. And sadly, my father, he died back in 2006. And when this bill came out, I thought, well, as an epitaph to my dad being an absolute bus enthusiast, a solid bus enthusiast as he was, I thought, well, I'll do one in East Yorkshire colours, to the exact specification that we rode on in Hull. And I did. And I haven't got a picture to hand at the minute, but I'm sure that if you look on one of our Facebook groups, I'll probably pop one on the Routemaster Facebook group anyway, and I'll tell you all about the story. So yeah, incredibly, RM871, which is WLT 871, was sold off by East Yorkshire in the 1990s after it had done its stint in Hull with the conductors, and it actually went to Reading Corporation Transport for a little while, and then it went back to London. Incredibly so. So it went back to London and it went on the service route 15, the heritage route around London. And there was about 8 buses that joined it. And then about 2 years back, there was banned from the roads of London. The EU, in their wisdom and all the rest of it, said that somebody with an open back platform bus couldn't, safely transport somebody, blah blah blah, whatever the rules and regulations was, they had to do away with the route masters in London, and sadly. So it's been off the road about 2 years, and it was sold recently, about 6 months ago, to someone private. And I heard only a fortnight ago that this bus, and it's been absolutely pristinely restored, WLT 871, will hit the streets of London again on a heritage route very, very shortly. So how incredible is that story? Okay, I digress a little bit. So, you still there, Horlix?
I am. Sorry, I was just making a coffee.
Oh, it's all right. No, it's okay. Yeah, carry on. Because I do know that making a coffee is very important. Right, so let me go back to where we was then. We're going to be assembling the driver's seat, and we're going to be putting this onto the driver's cab, which is there. Okay, and hopefully we're going to be putting the driver's cab into the cab itself, and hopefully we're going to be putting that onto the chassis itself, which I've got right outside of me here, so which is the blue and white Southend Transport Routemaster. So let me have a quick look at the parts then. We've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yes, that's correct. Okay, so I'm going to start building the seat then. And this is where I'm going to calm down a little bit. So did I say today that I actually received a Wera screwdriver, which is a 40mm shank instead of the 60mm shank, which they normally are. It's a PH0. The Wera screwdrivers are absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant. And this was a gift from Ram and Janet. So Ram and Janet, thank you very much indeed. I am going to be using this on most of my builds, and very much appreciated. So thank you very much indeed. Right, okay, so let's look at all the parts then that we're going to need, and we're going to need several bits that we're going to need to put together. Hopefully I've got them sorted out to the right bits and bobs. And yeah, that's the back, and that's the back there. Let's see if it fits nicely, because I don't think that one will fit on there. No, it won't. Okay, right, so we simply put that on, and then we fasten it together with some JP screws. Okay, there's a little bit more chai if you want to bring that up.
Yes, certainly. So Rascals Hobbies says, thank you for the story, that was really cool.
Thank you. Well, it's actually true. So I have repainted one of these Routemaster buses in the old East Yorkshire colours, and that's the old indigo blue and pale primrose, and it looks absolutely superb. It really does, even though I do say so myself. So we've had it to a couple of shows, and so where we've been able to show the local public, so local to Hull, so, and they think it's absolutely fantastic. So we was hoping to go to a few more shows this year, but sadly Christine's not been very well, so we've actually not been able to go to the shows that we've wanted to do this year, but there's always another year. So, and thankfully Christine's on the mend, hopefully. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to take it to a few more shows next year, along with Christine's bus as well, because Christine's also got a special Routemaster that was painted specially for her too, and there's a story behind that one as well. Okay, so that's the first two bits that we need to put together. We now need to put another two bits together, and we do believe it's that one and that one. And I'm just trying to get the orientation of these right, so I get them in the right place. Yeah, that's correct. So I need another 4 screws in the back of that. So we've got plastic seats, but we've got like rubber seat pads and rubber backs. So it's nearly true to form. But there is something rather strange with this, which I will tell you that isn't true to form to a Routemaster. And that is the fact that they've got this Routemaster on a cushion device, a sprung cushion device, even though it doesn't spring. And that's actually not true for the Routemaster. It should be just a pedestal, a fixed pedestal that it goes onto. So, but a little detail like that is not putting me off at all. You know, it's just something I can actually live with. And actually, with us having our Routemasters being shown to the general public at a couple of shows, nobody's actually said anything about what's wrong with the Routemasters at all, because there's bound to be some little idiosyncrasies that's not actually true to life exactly, you know. And yes, we may know them, but as far as the general public is concerned, 110% they've actually loved our models, so much so that we've obviously, you know, tried to tell people where they can get one and what have you. So, and we do believe that there is 2 or 3 people that's actually bought them as well through our say-so of showing them the model, you know, because it's so good. Yeah. Okay, so we've done that. Well, now we've got to connect these 2 bits together. Once get them the right way up, and we've got now the seat base and the seat back, and when I connect it together by 2 screws, we'll have a complete seat.
And then, so the main thing is, you know, people see them and know exactly what it is. Oh, it's a Routemaster, and that's, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'd be surprised how many people are not into buses at all, but they do know what a Routemaster is. And of course, a Routemaster is world famous. So
it's iconic.
Yeah, iconic, world famous. Where did my screw go? There it is. Okay. So what's the weather like near you, Horlix, tonight?
It's been, well, to be fair, I've been in bed all day, but just because I've obviously come down with this cold, but I did pop out into the garden this late afternoon, and it was, blue sky and really, really warm today.
Yeah.
So at the moment, it's just, quite mild and quite warm.
Yeah, it's not been too bad here today. I've actually been out and collected a lot of apples and pears because our apple and pear trees have been really loaded, and I didn't want them to get blown off in the wind. So I thought, well, I'll go and collect apples and pears if I can.
You collected them, or Willow collected them?
Well, I was actually collecting them, and as I was pulling them off the tree, there was maybe another one coming off with an apple or a pear, and he was running away with it. So
teamwork.
Teamwork. He did have his own pal by the time we'd finished. Right, so we've got to do now is put the backs on and the pads on. So, and I think what you've got to do really is warm them up a little bit. So I'm just going to pop them in my hand and carry on chatting a little bit. So I told you that I'm working from the magazines of the original Hachette Routemaster, but everything that you see here can be downloaded online via agoramodels.com. So if you go on the website of agoramodels.com, you'll find a download section, and in the download section it'll say Routemaster bus, and in the Routemaster bus section it'll say that it's up to pack 10. There's 12 packs all in, so we're up to pack 10 at the moment, and I've got every issue up to pack 10 for the blue one as well as the red one. So but I'm obviously behind with the blue one because the blue one is a one-off special. So what I wanted to do later on tonight, either during the build or after the build, is I'm going to look a little bit further forward in the build and see which pieces I need to actually paint for this model in the future. I've got a couple of bits done, but I'm hoping for the next 10 issues at least I can get away with not doing any painting, and I think I can, because we're actually building very shortly. We're building the interior, so that's the seating and the interior walls of the bus. Now I know that the interior of the bus wouldn't have altered at all for Southend, and they would have had the same maquette seats and the same red interior, so we can get away without painting that. Apart from the floors, that is, the floors do need weathering and painting, which I have done in a few future issues, which I will show you a bit later on. Okay, they should be warm enough now to pop on. So all I've got to do now is find which is the seat base and which is the seat back, and I do believe that's the seat back. And it tells you to put the seat back on first, and it goes into these 4 holes here. There's 4 bits of rubber that actually just press into them, and if you've had them warmed up like as I have in my hand, they should just pop into them holes, which they have. And let's see if this one goes onto the seat pad, the seat base. Yeah, you have to force that on a little bit more, but yeah, I think it just pops into the holes if you just push them into the holes, and I think that will just sit nicely. So yeah, just double triple check that one. Yeah, it may need just popping in once it's cooled down, because obviously it's been a bit warm in my hand. But yeah, that's gone on nicely. So we have a seat with a rubber pad and a rubber back. Okay, so what else do we need then? Well, we actually need the driver's cabin, which is here, and we're going to need this square thing, which is here, which represents like the suspension of the seat, because you can see that it's like ribbed, and but
like
as I said,
truck has.
Pardon?
A bit like what a truck has. Like
a bit like what a truck has. A truck has a seat that you can actually adjust for the weight, and it'll be spongy. Apart from the fact that I said before that this is not applicable to the Routemaster, because they never had them. So they just had them on a pedestal, and you could actually have, you had like winders under the seat, and you could move the seat forward, and you could move the seat back, and you could actually wind the seat up and down a little bit as well, but only a little bit. So, but it was more rigid, was the Routemaster seat. So any bumps and that you went across, goodness me, you felt it. So, right, we've got to put this on the driver's cab then. There is a little notch on it and a little hole just there. So we pop that on there, and then we pop this over the hole for the driver's seat. And you'll see that there is a connecting hole underneath. And once we get it lined up, it'll just sit in there. And then I do believe we have to turn it over and pop a screw in. I've got to turn the page, of course. We've got to pop a JP screw in, which we've already got here. So I'm just going to pop that down a second, load my screwdriver up, and then we can carry on with this. And then I can actually finish this by popping the handbrake in as well, can't I? I haven't popped the handbrake in yet. So yeah, I've got that in there. So there's the driver's seat, nice and solid. And I don't think I need them 2 extra JP screws at the minute. So I'm just going to pop them back in there. And they won't go anywhere. I'm just going to have a quick read of the instructions. Yep, we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. Yep. So it should look like that, which it does. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, it does, apart from it's the other way around. Okay, so that's the finished view. So that's 39 that's actually finished. So now we need to stage 40. Stage 40 is actually the cab. Okay, so stage 40, we got all these bits in the cab. And we have to put them together. And I'll just turn a few pages and show you what we had to do. Well, of course, the cab on this one is red. So I had to look in front of this issue and I had to paint it blue and white, as it would be in the Southend Transport Routemaster. So I have done that. So that is that issue that's completed, which I will show you in a second. So then we pop along to issue 41. And we get lots of pieces, so including electricity wires and lots of screws and a bit of tape, etc., and windows for the cab. So looking at this, we actually put bits and pieces on the cab, which I've already done. And then we come to this stage, which is stage 7, and we have to put some LED cables into the cab. Okay, so without further ado then, what I'm going to do is actually show you what I do. So here we are. Here's the cab. Here's one I made earlier, and I know it's difficult to see on this blue mat. So I think what I may do there is just take that off temporarily, and then I can you can actually see what we've done. So if I take that off temporarily, put that down there, hopefully you can see what I've done to this. So I have actually done several stages ahead, as you can see. I've put the pipes on, I've put the windows in, I've put the flaps in, I've put the grill on and everything, and the lights and the front wing and the other side. We've done all them, and then the inside bits as well. Now, somebody told me that this blue and white Routemaster was not all blue and white underneath the bonnet. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to leave a couple of bits red underneath the bonnet. So once the bonnet goes on, you won't see these red bits. But when the bonnet's lifted, you'll see a couple of red bits underneath the bonnet. And that's true to form how it should be. So that's what I've done. I've left them a couple of bits under there, and I've noticed it's just got a bit dusty as well. So I'll have to dust it off later on. But I'm going to be putting finger marks on it anyway, so of what we're going to be doing a bit later on. So we come to step 7 in this magazine, and we have to put some LED lights inside. So for that, we're going to need this cable here, which is what was saved from the cab issue when I did the painting, because obviously I've got to look ahead. I've got to paint the issue how it should be in real life, and then any extras like the lights and the chrome bits and everything, like I've got to leave them off, add them to the build, and then build the build up like behind the scenes, so that I can come and tell you guys, you know, this is what we've done so far. So and that's what we've been doing all the way along, and that's what I had to do with my other 2 Routemasters that I built that were one-off specials.
So I was just going to ask you a quick question.
Go on then.
When you were painting that, those 2 like flaps on the front that you've done in blue,
yeah,
how does that work with the painting? Because does the paint stick the hinges?
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, yes. What I did is that I actually painted them in the closed position, and then before the paint dried, I opened them up because I had one of like the interior part of the hinge stuck to some tape, so I was able to manipulate the hinge open, so that when it dried, it was actually hard. So then I resprayed them in a closed position and left them in the closed position, so that it gave you all sides of the hinge, and
I
there was in
see.
the closed position to put them back in the, but they will open up. I have tested them.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it's a case of painting like one side first, letting it harden, and then paint the other side after it's hardened.
I guess I was imagining sort of if you were to paint them and the paint was a bit thick, and then you let them dry and then try to open them, it might sort of crack the paint.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
I suppose that is a risk.
yeah, exactly. So like, try to work out where this should be like closed more than anything else, and try and get that finished the best that you can for the closed position, which I did, and hopefully that will work out. Just trying to get my leg working.
Lovely.
So yeah, and it's just a case of a bit of trial and error, experiment, and not building your paint too thick as well. And it can be done. And you're going to get where, if the paint's actually solid, like it's very, very close on there, you're going to get some cracking, definitely, if you're going to be using them too much. So yeah, choose a position where you want them to be mostly. So I wanted these to be mostly closed, even though they will open up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, I've not even touched mine on my model since I built them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really...
I'm exactly the same with my others. I haven't actually opened them up yet, so which is okay. So I'm just actually looking around for something that will help me a little bit. Something that I could use. Oh, yeah, I've got that here. So I've got an old newspaper here. So I'm going to put this old newspaper down. And because I don't want to scratch this, but I haven't got room for the Can't Work Upgrades mat. And besides that, it's going to be obviously not very good. So, right. Let's see what we can do now. I'm sorry I keep knocking the camera, but it's on a chair back that's right next to me, so I'm trying my best. So, okay. So, is there any more chat then, Horlix, before we carry on?
Yes. So we've got Eric saying, have you done or will you be doing the Agora Bismarck?
Right, I personally won't be doing the Agora Bismarck. I do know that Max Modz is doing it by John's Iconic Military Models, so I know that John's going to do a lot of the work for him. That's small, detailed work. So yeah, and I do know that. And then Danno Builds, he's done the Bismarck, so he's in the community as well. So yeah, I'm not going to be doing it though. So I've actually got a lot of other things to do. In the meantime, I've actually got lots of other projects on the go. So I'm not going to be able to take it on, unfortunately. So I'm going to be doing the Titanic, and I'm going to be doing the Eddie Stobbard, which we're on with now. So yeah, there's a couple of projects, and then I've got these two buses through Agora, and I've got two of my own to do as well. So right, I'm going to actually put these in like it says in the magazine. It says to put these in and bend them over. So you've got one in the side light to go and one in the headlight. And it doesn't really matter which one goes where because they are pretty much both equal. So it doesn't really matter which one goes where. So I'm going to pop that one in the side light. And I'm going to press it in firmly. And I'm going to get my my screwdriver and just help me push that side in a little bit. Okay, so I've got that one in firmly. I'm going to bend the wire down towards this way. And then I'm going to put the other one in the headlight. Okay, and that one didn't go in very firmly at all. That one is going to need taping in. So it gives you a couple of bits of tape to go over the wires, and it says bring the wires down in this direction. Okay, I'm just looking ahead a little bit, yeah, because we've actually got to move them wires a little bit further on later on, haven't we? So I'm actually going to bring the wires down in this direction. So if I twist that a little bit, I'm hoping that will go exactly where I want it to go. Okay, and then I'm going to tape them in as well, just to make sure. Bit of belt and braces. So they give you a couple of bits of tape, which is very good. So what I'm hoping to do is get this cab onto the chassis, but it'll depend on how these stages go, won't it? Okay, just back a little bit and place that down there and on there, if it will. Yep, it will. And I don't think that'll go anywhere now. I want to make sure. So I know that that one won't come out for a certainty, but that one may still come out. So I may put another dash of tape across there. It seems to be warm tonight. Mind you, it could be me. It could be me because obviously I've been busy. And
I'm sat here warm.
I just hope that I'm not coming down with anything. So hopefully I'm not. So hopefully I'm just warm. But who knows? Right, hopefully that's got that in the correct position. And hopefully we can move on a little bit with the build now. So let's have a look at the build. I've done everything else on the cab. I've put the handle on. I've put the water pipe on, and I've put the bonnet stay on. And that should be the finished view. So yes, it is. Yeah, that's the one. So that's another one done. So let's go to issue 42, sorry. So issue 42, we actually got the floor. Now I've painted the floor already, so that's a couple of issues ahead because we don't actually do anything with the floor. And we got the cover for the gearbox as well, for the flower wheel. So I actually got that. I've got that in the box as well. So, and it also tells you to go underneath the cab and the cab floor and put a piece of plastic tape in there to stop it from cutting out. So that's what we'll do now. We'll move this out the way. We'll put the mat back on. And I'm sorry about this, but there is going to be a lot of toing and froing with mats and bits and bobs, but we have to do that. So obviously we have to get all the bits sorted that we need sorting, don't we? So we need bringing back in the driver's cab. Need it turning upside down. There is a couple of bits we need to do on this as well. We need to pop a couple of holders on there that will hold the wire in place, and we also need to put the handbrake lever on it as well. So, and we also need to sort out this wiring, which I'm going to be attempting to do as well. So I'm not sure how the camera's going. So I think the camera's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think the camera's all right. I think that's gone in there. So yeah, so I've got to put a little bit of tape in there to stop it catching. And if memory serves me right, we actually get a separate piece of tape. That's there, yes. We do. I've got one. Separate piece of tape to go underneath there.
And I believe that's because the floor's metal, isn't it? And there's a possibility of that switch shorting out.
That's correct, yeah. There's a possibility of the switch shorting out. So this has to go underneath the switch, which it will do in a second. It's got to go underneath the switch, in between the metal and the switch. And then you can just press it down firmly. So you can either take the switch off, which I might actually do because it might be easier. So I'll just leave that there for the second. And rather than try and fiddle about with it, I might as well try and do this a little bit easier if I can. There's the screw. And it just stops it from shorting, as Horlix says, on that piece of metal underneath there. So we've got to pop that under there. And then we've got to stick it down each side, which we've done, and just press it down with my screwdriver. Let me screw off first, just to make sure that it's pressed down where it should be. Yes, there we are. Get me screw back on my screwdriver, and then I can put my switch back on then, can't I? Okay, so this was from the issue of 42, wasn't it? So we're very, very, very close to putting the cab onto the chassis. So we've got to line that back up now and put that back on there, and then pop the screw back in. So hopefully I can get the screw back in, and hopefully now when you press the, it won't catch on there by causing a short or anything, because it's got the tape in between the metal. Okay, so that's what we've done on there. So that's the first section done, I believe. Just going to move over to the next section, and the next section is that we've got to put this into the cab. Now I am going to go back a couple of issues. I'm going to put the cable stairs underneath here, because I think that was issue 38, I believe. Let's just have a quick look. Issue 38, and it was towards the end of the build. Yes, it was. So issue 38, we didn't do them all. We only put one in, and we should have put 3 in. So I'm going to put the other 2 in, and then straighten the cables out. And I don't know why I didn't do that. I think there was a reason why. Maybe I run short of time or something. Or
was it because, I might be wrong, didn't it ask to put 2 of them in, tie them down, but then you'd have to take them off again to put another wire through?
I think it probably did, yeah. I mean, there's 3 wires here, as you know. So
yeah, I'm sure the first one was 2 wires, and they added the switch in, which then you had to take it all apart again. I might be wrong. I might be thinking of another build, but
no, I don't think you. I think you're absolutely right, because I think this should go over there like that, and then the other 2 should go over there. And I don't want to have too much wire showing, but I want to make it loose. So I'm going to have to undo this one, I think. So I could have done with you here tonight, because
that's my favourite bit.
Mr. Wire Tardy, yes, absolutely.
Make sure you iron them out.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I'll try. So we've got that one going through there. And we need that one to go through there. And then the next one to go through there. It should be like that. Come on. There we are. Yep, that will do it. So we need a clip on there now. So I think what I'm going to do is find a bit of tape and just temporarily tape this down there until I can actually get to the until I can actually put the cable grip down without the wires being in the way. So I'm going to temporarily get them back in there nice and neat, and then put that over there just to hold them in that place there while I get the cable grip. And I've got the cable grip just at the other side of the desk here, which is there. And I'm going to need 2 AM screws. Okay, and I've got them as well in your pot. So there we are, AM screws. AM screws, because we need 2 of them, don't we? And we need another clip. I think there's just 2 missing from this one yet, because I've got one in there. So right, AM screw and clip over the first one. Now I'm not happy with that cable that goes there, but I am now. So we pop the cable grip over there. Oops, come on. Don't want to go in. Somewhere over there it goes. Just when it goes in the right. Come on, get in there. There we are. It's gone in. It's just getting it in the right place now for the screw. Okay. Put the screw in there nicely. Okay. Have we got the screw to go in? Yes, we have. Okay. So I can remove that tape, but I'll leave it where it is for the time being. Let's see if I can get these wires a bit neater. Seeing as though we've got Mr. Wire Tidy on. No, we're not doing so bad. Yeah, they're coming down there nicely. Okay. So now we've got to pop the other one on and the other screw. And hopefully that'll hold them then in place, won't it? Let's get the other screw. Put the other screw in there. So there's been lots of running days on today at Horlix in the historic vehicle calendar. There's been one in Yorkshire over at Skipton. They call it the Yorkshire Running Day, and they've had lots and lots of elderly buses out over the hills around Skipton in North Yorkshire today. And so yeah, very elderly buses from the 1930s and 40s and 1950s, and yeah, it's something that I would have liked to have gone to, but it's a lot of people say, oh, you live in Yorkshire, so it's not that far away, but in actual fact, it's, you know, by the time you get there, it's about 80 miles. And so obviously that's quite a big day out, isn't that? 80 miles. Oh, the cover's come off the seat. Let's see if we can pop that back on. Okay, there we are. That's because we had it upside down, isn't it? There we are. Right. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that we need to do before we pop it into the... So we've actually got to test fit it into the cab. and then we've got to screw screws in at the side of it, which hold it into the cab.
Ooh.
So screws that go through the side of the cab, they're TM screws.
And if I remember rightly, this was a little bit of a tricky one.
Yeah, it is. Popping them screws in certainly is, yeah. So anyway, that's what we've got to do next in step 2. So I'm not looking forward to step 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7, but you know, we'll get there, won't we? Right, okay. So I'm going to need the cab back again. We can do away with that issue. I'm going to need the cab back. Oh, dear me. I'm going to need to find some TM screws, I believe, which should be in here somewhere. NMs, no. If I can't find them, I've actually got some TM screws somewhere, but I'll have a look and see if they came out the original packaging. I've got that many packages in here that's yeah, the TM screws are quite long, you see, and they do the job really well. I think the problem I've got here is I've got packets that are stuck together. So, and that's one of the major problems of doing this model rather than sticking to the general model, and that's because I'm having to go 2 or 3 steps in front and then retrace my steps coming back again. So you don't use all the screws, and you have to obviously put them somewhere safe. So I can't find them in that one. Just gonna see if I've got them out anywhere else. T and QM. I know I've got another pot with something just around the corner, and come on, there's F so G F. No, it's not there. So is it under there? And no, they're not under there. There was only them screws that actually came with this issue, wasn't they? So
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So goodness me, I've got that many screws that I've got to go back into. They're not down there, so I'll leave that one. I'm pretty sure there will be somewhere between my heart and yours. There's a window that I can see through. Right, okay, let's go to my pot, because I could have put them here in my pot. So TM, yes, there we are.
Marie's just sent a message saying, great show, good night, well done to Horlix on chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, and good night to you and Pete. Let's hope you have a lovely night. And I'm just going to build a little bit more. So yeah, TM screws, Horlix, we've found.
Good.
I must have put them back in the box.
Somewhere safe, but I'm the same. You put them in such a safe place that you struggle to find them straight away. Always the way, and it's always the last place you look, isn't it?
That's the problem, yeah.
Because you're not going to carry on looking for them once you found them, are you?
No, I'm not. So, right, what do we do then? So basically we put this into there, and we have to slide it in, and then it's held in place by 2 screws which are there and there. I know it's difficult with the light, you can't see very well. Sorry about that. There and there are the screws. So, and they're going to the side of there and there. So let's see where we can pop this in then. So we've got to get them lined up, and hopefully we can get this in the right position without too much of a struggle. And I would like to see under there to see if it's in the right place, but I don't know whether it is. No, it needs a little bit more. So it needs to be in a little bit more. There we go. And that's in the right place. Okay.
Wow. It took me about 10-15 minutes of struggling to get that in place.
Yeah, it is a nightmare if you don't actually get them in the. And I think this is where we have to use another screwdriver as well. So let's pick this screwdriver up, and I should have a little bit of oil, so I'll get my oil as well, because these are going into metal. Oh, I can't stop shaking. What's the matter with me? Stop shaking. Goodness me. Let me have a slurp of my tea. Maybe my sugars are a bit low, something. Right. Let's see if we can get this in there now. So they are lined up. And, I just want a bit of oil on there, don't I?
Oh, yeah, Yorkshire Crafter said, I think you left them all in the yellow tray.
Yeah. No, I actually put them in my big tray. So that was from another issue, Julie. So, but you are half right. you are actually half right, yeah. So, right, this is where we're going to struggle to get in there without getting in my own way. So they are going in nicely. Yeah, they are going in. That's one. I'm going to try and get the other one in. And this is the longer screwdriver, so I need a bit of oil, don't we? Come on.
Hey, Julie says laugh out loud, Dave.
Yeah, I've got them all over the place. So I actually have 5 separate boxes for the Routemaster builds because, and then I've got the issues, the packs as it was, they're actually stored separately as well, so in their own boxes that they come in. So yeah, I've just got to tighten that one. Then I'm going to be happy as Larry. All being well. I can't get my hand underneath it. So get on there and make sure it's nice and tight. Yep, I think it is. Yeah, just make sure that one's nice and tight. Yep, lovely. So that's that in. That's the driver's cabin. Okay, all nicely secured in. Make sure that the seat's all together still. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, everything's on there where it should be. Yeah, I've got the handbrake to put on, and that is in the yellow tray. And hopefully I shouldn't break that off now, because it should be well protected by the side of the cab. And I'm sort of thinking, I'm wondering if I could put that in at a later stage as well. So I'm a bit undecided on that one at the minute, to be honest. But I'm hoping it'll just sort of slot in as well with a little tiny dash of oil. And I think a lot of people putting this in place, they've tried putting too much oil on, haven't they, at some stage or other. So let's try a little dash of oil. And I've still got my broken cocktail stick across the rear there. There we are. So I'll put a little dash of glue in that tray. Sorry guys, you can't see that. That's out the camera shot. So, but that's what's so difficult about this build, is that it's so big that things sometimes you're not able to show in the full camera shot, which is okay, but it doesn't mean you have to, tell everybody what's what. So, right, I'm going to put that in there where it goes down there. And yeah, I'm looking for it to go straight in the holes. if it will. And looking for it to pop in the holes. So let's hope I can get it in. It's not quite down there yet. There we are. Somewhere down in that direction. It's more difficult than what you think, this one. There we are. I'm just going to check it. Yeah, looks like it's entered the holes. Okay. There we are. Okay, I'm happy with that. I think I'm just going to put a little tiny bit more glue on the underside of it, just to make sure that it stays there. There we are. So, I remember when we used to glue things from behind quite regular, didn't we?
It's a good idea.
Yeah, it is. It's out the way, isn't it? And
where possible.
Yeah, where you possibly can. I'm not getting much on my stick because there's not much in my tray. I think that'll be okay. I'm pretty sure it will. Right. Okay, let's move that further up that way. That way. And that instantly gives us another wire to go underneath there. Okay, so they'll have to be trailed where the other wires go, won't they? So, here is the big boy now then. So what we've got to do from this part on then, we've got to work on the chassis. We have got to put two bits of tape on the front end of the chassis to insulate against anything on the chassis front there. So, and then we've got to make plans for putting this cab onto the chassis. So I'm going to do a bit of moving around. And,
Eric says he actually likes the blue-white better than the red for this bus.
Yeah, you're not the first to say that, Eric, because yeah, it is rather striking. So I do actually know that somebody is making another one in blue and white, but at the minute he's just run out of paint, and he's got a struggle on finding a match for the paint apparently. So, and then this bus is totally different anyway, because it's got, let's see, I'll show you. It's got black wheels. Okay, so both front and back wheels are black, whereas the normal red Routemasters are red, like maroon. And so that's different on this Routemaster. And then it's got actually brass injector pipes as well down there, which I know are difficult for you to see at the minute. So I'm going to turn this around, and this one's actually been I've actually organised this to be on its own stand, as it was. I've drilled the frame, so where the black blocks sit underneath these, I've actually drilled them patches on the chassis there by 5mm bolts, and I put 5mm bolts in, and the bolts that I've used are like coach bolts, you know, the smooth. So, and I can actually adjust them up or down, and these actually want shortening a little bit. They're double nutted on the top and the bottom, and they actually want shortening a bit because they stick up too much over the floor here, because the floor goes flat with the chassis here. So they actually want cutting off at a later date. So I'll be taking all them off, cutting them down to the correct size, and then what I want, you see, is I just want the wheels just to be off the floor, whereas the black blocks that we're given, the plastic black blocks, they make the wheels about 1/2 inch off the floor, and I just want these just touching the floor. So obviously I can make my own thing here, where I can just make it just so it's just touching the floor, and it just gives it a little bit more real appeal onto a diorama base, yeah, which hopefully this will go on to at some point in the future. But obviously I can still take these off as well, because I just undo them, and I can still use the black blocks under there as well. Okay, so I'm going to look at the chassis ends now and see if I can put tape on the chassis ends, and then we're a bit nearer putting this cab on the chassis. So where is my scissors?
Yeah. This is a diorama for that. Is going to be huge. Laugh out loud.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We already have a diorama that was made by Jay's channel, and he did a road, like a road scene, where his bus was on the road at a bus stop, and it was absolutely brilliant. And then I'm actually going to enhance that. I'm going to make it so that it's both sides of the road. So, and Jay used the black blocks for standing the bus at the bus stop, and I'm going to use this method and then paint these matte black, so you won't be able to see them very much. And so that I'll have the wheels further down onto the ground. So just while I'm talking to you here, I'm just putting these bits of tape on, like it says on the instructions, just to stop this on these chassis ends. Okay, right, what else do I need to do? What's the time like, Horlix? So we've been going an hour and 10 minutes we've been going, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think the chances are of us getting this cab on here within the next half hour? So, okay, I'm just going to look at the instructions. So we've got to put the cab on over the engine, and I know it's difficult for me to show you. I'll go a little bit higher up. I've got to put the cab over the engine and the front mudguards and what have you, and get it in position. But there's several other things that we've got to do at the same time. And if I remember rightly, there's several things that I used to take off the cab, such as the water pipe alongside the cab there, alongside the driver's cab. And that was because it was easier to get it in position. And easier to get it onto the chassis. So this stage is very tricky indeed, and you need to manipulate these into the correct position, and it's not at all easy. Now there's 2 or 3 things that I've taken off. There's the little black pipe that I've taken off because that needs to go on later on, because there's no way you can get that on at the minute with all these other pipes on. I can take the water pipes off, but you've also got to make sure that all the lights engage in the correct place as well, and you get all the other screws in the correct place as well. So I'm going to just go back to my
doing all that, making sure the wiring is coming out where it needs to go.
That's right, the wiring. We've got the wiring in this side already for these headlights and the side light, but we've got to make sure that the wiring comes out here and runs along the chassis here at this side in the correct way as well. So yeah, there's all that to look at as well. And I'm just going to look in my box of tricks here for the other screws, because I'm going to need some CM screws apparently. So we've got FM, so let me put these in the tray. We've got a CM there, and what's the other ones we will need? And just have a quick look at my diagram and make sure that I've got everything that I need. FMs, CMs, and yeah, what else do we need over this side? Yeah, I think that's it, FMs and CMs. So there's another CM there. Okay, with another cable connector and some AMs which we'll need later on, and GMs. Okay, so we've got all them that's necessary. I think all the others are at the other side of the desk, so I'm going to move bits and bobs so I can got a little bit more space, and that's because I do need the space to get everything in. Okay, right, just gonna have another slap of my tea, pluck up the courage. I bet you can feel the heat that's coming off me now, because
yeah, I can feel it here, but
it's rather hot, I can tell you. Right, let's go for it then. So I'm going to quickly look at the instructions and make sure that I've got everything in the correct place yet again. I think actually I'm going to wrap these wires with a little bit of tape to save them going all over the place, which is probably a good idea, isn't it? Let's quickly have a look at these nice and gently. And that one's come out of there already, so that's not giving me a lot of hope, is it? So that must have been stuck on something to pull it out the hole already. That's not good. Well, there is another way around that, you know, Horlix, isn't there? Because glue it in, I suppose.
Is that the headlight?
That's the headlight bulb, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, if you need to take that route, use hot glue.
Yeah, I've not got any hot glue, so.
Because obviously, you know what super glue's like, it can make everything foggy.
That's true, yeah. Well, what I'm going to do is use some of this other tape and hope that it holds it in the position that we want it to be in. And then I'll get some other tape and just take them other bits to the back of the driver's seat, I think. And then they'll be out the way. Because these have got to be out the way as well, haven't they? So this one needs to be down the chassis side, really, there. So I may have to take another route with this. Go down that side, perhaps. Yeah, it maybe will. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use another route with this one, Horlix. I'm going to use that side. So let's undo it from there for the time being. And if I can get it go that side of the steering box, we can actually get it to go where it should go. So might need a bit more fresh tape. Yes, get in there. Okay. So I don't want my tape to show through the rest of the diagram, through the rest of the bus. So, which is very, very awkward indeed. So cut that bit of tape. Okay. And then we'll go over that bit as well. It's all right. That's my computer complaining a little bit. Just my computer didn't do what Christine's did. That was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
Very strange, that was.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I've got that well taped in now, and hopefully that'll go along this route here and pop out at the back here. In fact, I'm kind of thinking that I ought to put a bit of tape on there. Bring it out that way. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that it should go. It's out of the way of that. Yes, it's out of the way of that. Okay, let's pull it up a little bit. And I'll have a little bit of tape across there. Which hopefully will hold it from going anywhere. Then I need just a bit of tape on the driver's seat. Whoops, I dropped it. Okay. I know it looks unsightly with a bit of tape, but let's try it. Okay. Okay, right. That'll do for now. Move that out of the way. Okay, let's see where we get to. I don't want that to be in road of them ones there. Yeah, because we're going to need them on there. Yep. Okay. Right. I need that holding up as well too. Now I think what I might have to do here is I might have to get involved with the camera and everything. So to actually put this in the right position. So we have got a headlight bulb to put in this side, which is dangling down here, which I know that I can do with a pair of pliers, tweezers, a bit later on in the build. I really should perhaps take that red pipe off because I can pop that on at a later time, the silver pipe, sorry, and the red pipe. So I probably ought to get that off there. Goodness me, sweating. I'm sweating now. So, right, okay, there we are. That's the red pipe. And then we've got to make sure that we've got clearance on the other bits, haven't we? So, all being well. Okay. So, let's put that on there. That on there, that on there. Right. Yep. Okay. Right. So I've actually not done this live before today, and so I'm expecting that it's going to be more difficult than it really is. So I'll get the steering bar well into the chassis, and then let's have a look down here and see where we're going. I don't know, I've got to undo that one. I don't know, I've got to move that one round. So, okay, let's have a quick look. I've got to undo that one. And let's find out where that wire's gone there. Yep, it's okay. And let's find out where that wire's gone over there. So, it's a case of manoeuvring it round, but when it weighs so much, it's a devil of a job to do. And it's not very easy to do when you're like by yourself as well. You've got that round there successfully, round there successfully. Yeah, let me just get that, make sure that it pops into there. I've got to try and make sure that they're lined up, which I can't do at the minute because I need a torch. I've got a torch on my phone, haven't I? Let's have a look. Let's have a look, shall we? So, just move that. Where it is? Come on, torch. No, I don't know. Torch. Turn on. There we are. So, let's see. Down there. I don't know. It could be lined up. It could well be lined up. Sorry that my head's in the way. But, we're at a crucial stage here where we need to make sure that everything lines up as it should do, and that doesn't line up in there, so that's not right. Okay. Just over that little bit there. Yep. So that goes there, that's there, and that's there, and that's there, and that's there. So it's looking as though it's going to line up. So what I'm going to try and do now is try and see what screws we need. And turn the light off. Come on, turn off.
So you have to hold that, yeah. I always get confused with that little icon in the corner. You have to hold it down.
Yeah, the on your phone, on your light. Yeah.
You have to hold it. I think it's to stop you doing it accidentally in your pocket when it's on there.
That's right, yeah. So, right, I'm just going to have a quick look now at the screws I need to sort out. So it's a case of going backwards and forwards in the magazine and looking at seeing what we've done. So they're FM screws that are in the cab. Okay, and we've got CMs underneath the cab, behind the wheels, which I'll have to do in a bit as well. So it says put the ones in the cab first. FMs. So good old FM screws. Where are they? Let's have a look. There we are. FM screws. Okay. And we need 3 of them. 2, 3 for now. Okay. And we'll need a bit of oil. And we'll need a bit of luck, I think. So let's hope that's in the right place. Soon find out. Yeah, I think it might be going in. Let's have a look. It might be going in. Yes. Okay. Now, if this works, it'll be the easiest and quickest way that I've ever put a cab on. And if it doesn't work, then it may not be. I do believe they're going in. So I'm not going to tighten them all the way because I've got this to turn upside down yet and work on the underneath. So, and I may have to loosen these off a little bit as well. That's got them 3 started anyway, I think. So I'll just loosen that one off a tad and loosen that one off a tad. Yep. Okay, and then I'm going to start work on the other side then. So can you see any problems with it yet?
No, that is like gone on beautifully, isn't it? It is a really tricky stage to do.
It certainly is. Yeah, it certainly is a tricky stage. So I've got these blue foam blocks that I use as for popping the models up on. I've actually got another one there, so need that one.
Oh, we have Gillian Dots. Good evening. Sorry I'm late.
Hi Gillian. No, you're not late. We're actually late, Gillian. So thank you for joining. We're at a critical stage of the build.
Yeah. Eric says, hi, howdy, Gillian. Gillian says, hi, Rascals Hobbies.
Jolly good. Right, let's have a look under there. Yeah, it's on the cab still, so I'll need my 3rd bit. So let's pick that up and that one flat there, that one flat there, that one flat. Let's see how that goes. Okay. So I'm off camera again. So it's difficult to do, of course, because I'll try to lift it up and show you what I'm working with. So over that way a little bit. So this is the underside of the bus. And we're going to have to put screws in now the other side of the back of the wheels, and we've also got a screw to put in this side, loosening one of them things to put the mudguard in. But you can see there's a light there, which is a headlight, which hopefully I'm going to pop in with a pair of tweezers, so hopefully I can do that. So I'll get my tweezers for now, for later, and I'll remember hopefully that I'm going to do that. So I was hoping to get to the other side actually, so sorry, it's so difficult to work on that, you know, when you're in the way of your own light and everything. So we've got one to pop in there, and again I think I'm going to need a torch. Let's have a look, see if I can get that up there. Okay, yeah, it maybe will, but I'm going to need to know what screw it is. So the screw that we're looking for under there is an FM screw. So another FM. And then I think we move over to GM screw. Come on, FM screw. Okay. Drop oil.
Geordie Dave says hi, Gillian. And Gillian Dot says hi, Geordie Dave.
Yeah, hello to you both. And yeah, let's get that under there. Okay. So I'm going to be looking around in the dark with this one, but hopefully I can get it somewhere where it actually needs to go, so without too much problem. Now it does say on sometimes on the build you have to move another screw to get this one in, so I'm hoping I don't have to do that. I'm hoping that it just goes straight in, and hopefully it's gone straight in. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, it appears to have gone straight in, so that's good. Oh, so that one was difficult. So now we've got these two under here, and just got to work out where they go now. So we've got CM under this one, I believe, and we've got a CM under that side as well. So one there, one there, one there, one there, I think. So let's just have a look. One, I think there's one at one side and two at the other. I can't remember. Can you remember, Horlix?
No, I vaguely remember having to move the wheels.
Yeah.
To get to them.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you'd have to move the steering from either one side to the other, and because there's one down one side and one down the other side, and I think they're talking about that near side. Yeah, that near side more than anything else. So screwdrivers. Take the big one, I think, and we need a CM. Okay, there's one CM in there, so we'll have that. Okay, I thought a CM was bigger than that. I'll drop a white light as well.
Just a quick thought.
Yeah.
The pigeons.
On,
is the steering rack is in the correct position, isn't it? Ready to,
under there.
That's a later issue, but obviously that comes from the cab, doesn't it? So
yeah, it's in the correct position.
Worth just checking.
Yeah, I don't know whether you can see it on my finger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's right next to the steering rod there. So, and it actually attaches to this steering rod. So yeah. Yeah, incredibly, it's going in the right way at the minute. But I don't want to jinx it. I've got to. So my computer nearly shut down then. Goodness me. Just hoping that screw goes in. At the minute it doesn't feel as though it's going in. It must be, surely. No, it isn't.
Rascals Hobby says, hey Geordie. Geordie Dave says, hi Rascals. And Rascals Eric says, got to run, guys. Great stream. Have a good one. Thank you, Eric. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Eric. Take care now. Thank you ever so much for coming along. Yeah, I don't think that's going anywhere actually, Horlix, that one. So I'll try the other one. So I can't actually see if they're actually lined up. CM, yeah, CM, and CM, yeah, CM again, yeah. Okay, CMs. There's another CM. I'm getting out of breath. So what time have I got to now? Yeah, I think we're going to have to pack up at some point, aren't we, in the near future? Oh, God. It's so difficult trying to do it with the camera in the way. So somebody deserves a gold star if they can do this with a camera. They do. A gold star.
That'll be yourself.
Well, that one's gone in perfectly. So, okay. So let's have this side in now. And this side is going to be... What's it going to be? It doesn't say me what that side is. The off side. Goodness me, now it goes on about the wiring. It goes on about the wiring. Okay, so what's on the offside one? The offside. What's the near side? It didn't tell me what the offside one was. Oh, I think there's. So, well, of course, we don't need one on the offside because there was 3 in the cab, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, there was 3 in the cab. So it's just the near side. So, okay, so just the near side, them 2. So I'm actually going to try and get that other one in a little bit more. Get that in. And get it to grip. No, I don't think that's going to go in at all. So it won't come out neither. Okay, not to worry. Okay, well, we've got 95% of them in. So I need to now turn it back over and tighten the cab up one. I need to get this light in, don't I? This
yeah, with the LED, yeah, with the tweezers.
Yeah. Okay, let's see where we're going from here. And it's going to be a bit difficult as well because the wheel arch is there. So I actually did this on my other one with it being on the side, laid on the side. So, and it was quite an easy job to do with it being laid on its side. So I might have to come back to this and lay it on its side, depending on where I can get this bulb to go down to. So, yeah, I'm going to have to get it laid on its side, I think, because I don't think I'm going to do it that way. It may have been the other side. I don't know. Of course, can't get in that way, can we? So, okay. So I may have to come back to this, depending on how I can grip it.
Oh yeah, I see. So you've got the 3 screws in the cab, which are the FMs. Then you've got 2 CM screws, front and back of that side.
Of the near side, yeah.
Yeah, where you were, yeah.
Yeah.
The CM screw in the back, that went in perfectly, didn't it? And then,
Yeah.
yeah, you've got one at the front as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I have. Come on, get in there. No, it's not going to go in. Come on. It's been awkward. Maybe I'm trying a bit too hard. Come on. No. Come on. Get in there now. I think I'm trying a bit too hard, actually. Probably a bit too tight as well. Come on. It does not want to go in there. The pesky little light. Okay. So close. No, I can't do it right now, so what I'll do is I'll try and do that off camera. And that's because I've got the camera and the light there and there, and I can't get myself in over where I need to be. So I will do that off camera, I promise. So I know that's making like a fail. But I've also got a dog down there as well and a chair. And So, right, let's just lift that back up and turn it back over and see if I can get them 3 in the cab to tighten up. So, I've got them 3 in the cab to tighten up, which are down there. So, and that one, yeah, and that one, yeah. I've got my plastic pipes to put back on, which I will do in another stage when they're not going to fall off. Let's tighten this last screw up. Here it's going. Nearly there. There we are. Get that one. Make sure that's tight. Yep. And that one down there. Okay, that's tight. So that one is now. Yep. So we've got that one. We've got them under there, apart from one. And we've just got to put that light in under there, which I will be able to do on its side. Whew. And then the plastic pipes, which I will be able to pop in there. So yeah, this wiring will be done in the next one. I'll do like a part 2 to this, if you like. So the steering bar goes on the top of there, which we can get to. So let's put that in right the right position where that's going to go. It's actually going to go back there just slightly a little bit more, I think. So, but it's in the right ballpark, so that's good. It just goes on top of there. Look. So, and yeah, the wiring, when I've untaped it from the driver's chair, it comes down here and across and right across the back here. So for now, I've done what I've wanted to do for a long time, and I've actually got the cab on the chassis. And so apart from finishing off the screw underneath and the wiring, I'm then on to the next part of the build, which I will do at another day. So I've done incredibly well tonight. So yeah, we've done 3 or 4 issues all at once. We've caught up with all bits and pieces. I do know I've got this pipe to put in here. I've got the light to put in this bulb here, which is just underneath there. I've got this wiring to sort out and put across here, which I can do. and yeah, just one screw under here, which I will try and put in again. So I might take off the wheel and try and get it that way. So other than that, I'm calling it a big success. So, and I'm calling it for tonight, because it's now very nearly 11 o'clock. And so, and obviously with me being on live streams now since 8 o'clock this evening, it's actually been a big tall order for me. So, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna stop there. But I will carry on with it off stream, and I will I'll put these wires down here. I'll put the other screw in here. I'll put the light in. I'll put the plastic pipes on. And I think that's it for that issue. And then we'll start again with the next issue. And I believe the next issue is the floor, which is issue 43. And it is, yeah, it is the floor.
That's the floor and the engine, the gearbox cover, isn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then I think like the speaker and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I've actually done that as well. So we've actually done that, and we've actually weathered it all, apart from finished it off. So yeah, so we've done the silver underneath. Silver underneath, and then we've weathered the floor, apart from just finishing it off. So the floor looks something similar to that once it's been brushed off. But it's just got to be lightly brushed off, so all the dark areas disappear. And it's not in the camera. Get in the camera. So all the dark areas disappear, and then it sort of leaves it where it's lighter at the back there. So it looks really warm. Do you know what I mean? So that's nearly there, and that will be the next major part that goes on, and then we'll start building the seats on, and then like the back of the cab and such like, which I've also done as well. So there's the back of the cab. So yeah, I'm 2 or 3 issues ahead all the time, trying to keep ahead of it. Okay, it's just a case of putting it back together.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to just get rid of that. So I'm going to exit solo, and then I'm going to pop back on. So where's my camera? Come on. There it is. Forward facing. There we are. Thank you very much. So, right. Okay. I am absolutely shattered. So it's been an epic build tonight, and we've done really, really well. And I'm really, really pleased at the progress. And I'm going to thank my guest, which is Horlix. Thank you very much for popping along, stepping in with the chat, etc. Because it's been, I wasn't looking forward to doing the chat and doing that as well. So thank you ever so much for that. It's much appreciated. Yeah, thank you. And hopefully you'll feel better later on as well after after a good night's sleep, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
So yeah, it's not very good having it.
I'm all right though. I'm glad I've had it now, because obviously I'm going away in a couple of weeks. And I'm always ill when I go away, so I'm actually really relieved I've got it now.
Yeah.
Because I'm very unlikely to have it again in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, fingers crossed you'll be all right. Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so is there any more chat to catch up on? Or
So we've got Yorkshire Crafter saying she's going to say good night to everyone. So, yeah,
good night, Julie. Thanks for joining.
Geordie Dave says great stream, Dave and Horlix.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dafty MC says great work, Dave.
Thank you.
Okay. And Gillian Dot says great show, Dave and Horlix, and a big thumbs up. So
thank you, Julie. Gillian, thank you. Yeah, I mean, anybody that live streams will know that it's this bus or any model that's oversized, a massive model, is very difficult to work on when you've got a camera, a light, and you're trying to bend over and look at things, and believe you me, when I'm not working on camera, I've got the light right over, and and I can see exactly where we're going and everything. So, and you don't mind getting in your own way, once you're working on a model. But once you're working, trying to do it live stream, it's very, very difficult getting out of the camera shot and everything, and making sure everything's in shot that you can see. And so I do apologize for that, but there will be, at the end of this build, at the end of all my builds, I'm going to make like a thing where you will be able to see them all, because I'll have them all laid out on the table, and then you'll be able to see, from a distance, and then we'll probably bring the camera in, and probably do a show like that for you when we've done them all, and then at the end of the day, then you'll be able to see what the difficulties are of physically working on them. So, and you can tell that it actually does wear you out, when you've just done an hour or so. So, right, okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me tonight. And goodness me, we've done one heck of a lot tonight. We really have, and we're really pleased about that. So, so I think I better go, and I think I better say my goodbyes now. So, thank you ever so much for joining me this evening, and thank you, Horlix, once again for joining me and doing the chat, and thank you, viewers, for viewing. Please leave me with a nice good thumbs up, and yeah, don't forget to check out in the description below all our community as well, so because they do an awful lot of builds, far better than I do. So anyway, right, okay, so I'm going to leave the last word to Horlix, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure. I really enjoyed that. It takes me back to when I did mine, and yeah, it's sort of nostalgia for me now, because I did mine a long time ago. But yeah, I really enjoyed that, and that was probably one of my favourite issues, because you spend all that time working on the cab, and then you bring it together with the chassis, and then you've got one piece. And I love them issues. So yeah, he did really well tonight. Brilliant that they all went on first time, pretty much. And obviously, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more develop with it. So
lovely.
Yeah, it's a good night from me, and I will see you on another stream.
Okay, thank you ever so much. And just before we go, the schedule is on all the Facebook groups that we belong to, and the next thing on the schedule is tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. and it'll be the Disney Doll's House, so it will be on Crafty Chris's channel, Yorkshire Crafter's channel, and Jay's channel, so at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. So that's the next one on the shows. So it's a goodbye from me, and it's a goodbye from Horlix, and take care now.
Yeah. Bye.